I'm a bit embarrassed to show this to you, so please don't judge me. Today is all about sparking joy, and that is doing the KonMari method of decluttering, because last week I couldn't even close the drawers on my art supplies, so something needs to change. The brilliant thing about the KonMari method, you are not thinking about what you are getting rid of. You are thinking about what you want to keep, what sparks joy. And that mindset switch makes all the difference. It can be really hard to declutter. Maybe you've had something for 20 years, you've never used it, but you might do one day, or worst of all, it was a gift, so you feel like you should keep it. But none of those things are helping you, and it's taking away from the little bubble of joy that we could create in the limited spaces that we do have. So, step 1, sorting. So only last week this drawer genuinely didn't close. I managed to move things around a tiny bit. The progress I made was to get it to close, but that was the extent of it. Today's task is to do a proper job. So yes, this is a little bit embarrassing to show my complete dumping ground of drawers full of some useful and less useful things. There is all kinds of things in here that extend beyond art supplies, such as a coat hook of a cat's tail, with a gem stuck to it no less. Plenty of these things are still useful to me, but they're just completely unorganised, and therefore even the things I do want and I do need, I can't get to, or I can't find very quickly. A furniture leg, just one furniture leg, brilliant. And if your temptation is to buy more storage because you are outgrowing what you've got, I would suggest having a go at this method before you do that and seeing if you actually need more storage or if you just need a good decluttering session. Random tiny eyeshadow brush. Not sure of its purpose in these drawers, much like everything else. Are the classic tools for assembling some sort of furniture at some stage. Not sure these are going to be needed now. As a side note, these tiny pots are actually perfect for giving away samples of paint or sealer so your customer can touch up their painted furniture. When doing the KonMari method, I'd be amazed if you don't discover things that you didn't know you had. Either because you bought them so long ago, you've acquired them from other people and you just thought, oh, that might be useful one day. I mean, who doesn't need a tiny spoon in their lives? And remember, at this stage, it is just sorting. You not have any thoughts about what you're keeping, what is going, whether or not it sparks joy for you. Literally, you're just putting things into piles. So straightforward. Don't get distracted by looking at everything. Don't. We're empty. We're in piles. Only one big box to go. The reason why I also have this giant Doom box is because you may have seen in my shed makeover video that I actually initially had 2 sets of drawers. And the thing about having more storage is that you basically get more stuff. It's like when you have a bigger house, you put more things in it. So it's actually helpful to have condensed down to just the 1 drawers. Whilst I do have this overflow box now, the goal is by the end that this will be massively condensed down. As you can see, this has just become a dumping ground for things either I don't know what to do with them, they don't have a home, and lots of individual loose things which are kind of annoying to store. It's so much nicer if you have everything grouped together, whether that's in a bag or a box or something additional. Stops things from rolling around, getting lost, getting buried. Marie Kondo's actual recommendation is to start with categories. So for example, you would start with clothes and you would end with anything sentimental. because the sentimental, meaningful things are the ones that are going to be hardest for you. Do the easy bits first so you are comfortable with the process, understand what you're trying to achieve before you get to the tricky bits at the end. And another nice touch that Marie Kondo does is to say thank you for your service before you declutter it or pass it on and give it to someone else. Which might seem a little bit twee, but actually it's just a really nice positive way about thinking about decluttering. Everything is in its piles, and it's interesting because it looks much more manageable now that you can see it all and it's not all crammed into drawers. Who knew? Marie Kondo was onto something. Step 2 is... what is step 2? Yes, I'm going to do the spin again because this does spark joy. Step 2 is decluttering. And this is the spark joy test. So don't worry at this stage exactly if it's going in the bin, going to recycling, going to the charity shop. This stage is just, do I want to keep it? Does it spark joy? Is it good for me to keep in my house? Do you know what doesn't spark joy? This pencil case full of pencils. And why does it not spark joy in my life? Because somehow the pencil case is full of glitter and a hairband. That hairband is never going on my head ever again. So as much as I'm sure some of these pencils are useful, this does not spark any joy in opening a glitter-filled pencil case. So this will be going on a decluttering pile. Charcoal pencils, nice quality. Do they bring me joy? No. And the reason why is because I don't use them, so I look at them and I feel bad that I don't use them. So definitely the perfect candidate for decluttering. Something that absolutely does spark joy, gold leaf. So much fun and straight into my collection. Masses and masses and masses of buttons. Do they spark joy for me? No. Do they spark joy for my son who wants to play with them? Yes. So great, decluttered, and I know exactly where they're going. Wax crayons. Why do I have crayons? I am not a toddler. I actually did this project 8 years ago or something to play with drying the wax crayons with a hairdryer and making it melt down. A lot of fun, and actually something I probably could do again, but yeah, I don't need to. It's not a priority, so declutter. You know what does bring me joy? This Marauders map from Harry Potter. It was actually a notepad and I've used all the notes in it, but it's such a fun map design. I don't know what I'm going to use it for, but it does bring me joy. One thing I have a lot of and I love is washi tape, and this seems like something that would be the perfect size to go in my tiny little drawer shelves up there. So that could be cute. Right, I think we can make a little washi tape holder with these now. I won't think too much about the colours. Hee! Spark and joy all over the show. When you are decluttering, there are 3 piles that you need to make. 1 is rubbish, 2 is for charity, and 3 is to give to friends or put on somewhere like FreeCycle, so a space where you can give things away for free. So first of all, rubbish. Something like this masking tape, which rips constantly. This does not spark joy, this sparks rage. So this one is straight for the bin because I would not inflict this on anyone. Sometimes charity shops receive all sorts of rubbish. In fact, they end up having to use the money that they would put towards the charity to get all the rubbish things that they are given sent away. So you need to be really thoughtful about what you give to a charity shop to not waste their time and waste their money. Something like these buttons are a great example of something that would be useful for them. They are new, they are unopened, and easy for them to sell. So that is a good charity shop option. Something that is a good middle ground between rubbish and something good enough for a charity shop to sell are things you can either give to friends if they want them or put on FreeCycle for anyone to come and pick up. And something like these pastels is a good example. There's plenty of life left in them. they're in fine condition, I just don't need them anymore. So I can pass them on knowing that someone who does want them can come and pick them up and use them for themselves. And my final spin for the video, but definitely not the final spin for the day. Step 3, organising. Please indulge me for a second with my adorable repurposed jeans into a little, what is this, a storage bag? Storage holder? The best thing you can do when organising your supplies is to keep like things together. And the great news is we've already done this because everything has been sorted into piles. Why it makes sense to keep things together is because you know exactly how much you've got of something, which means you have all the options available to you when you are looking for that particular thing, and are more likely to remember exactly where it is when everything is tidied away nicely. It always amazes me how much having a tidy space relaxes me and makes me feel more calm and more inspired when everything doesn't feel so cluttered. What should I work on? What do I have? It's just nice to have everything tidied up, at least for now. And even some glitter got put back in the drawers, but don't worry, it's in its own container and not sneakily hiding in a pencil case. And whilst this does help for putting things back quickly and easily when you want to, if you are still that person who just puts things on the side and then will tidy away eventually, this will still make that process quicker. Just don't let it escalate into the disaster of a drawer that mine was originally. I was already excited by this organiser box. I was going to put my little bits of jewellery making crafts in it and then get ready for it. The sections come out. I approve. Don't you love storage containers that just keep things neatly organised? It's much easier to keep things tidy when everything has a home and it can just get put back in the right place. Very satisfying. I don't have too many itty bitty things like beads or anything that can use storage like this, but this is perfect for jewellery supplies. Have you used the KonMari method? It's popular for a reason. I managed to quickly take twice the amount of art supplies and just condense them down into one set of drawers. If you did do it, how was your experience? And most importantly, have you stuck with it? If you're interested in seeing how this shed transformation came together to make this a really nice usable workspace, then I'll link that video for you as well. And that includes how to organise lots and lots of paint supplies so that you can get to them quickly and efficiently. If you found this video useful, please consider subscribing. It makes a huge difference. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye. Honestly, tidying up my shed was worth it just for all the spins I could do on this swivel chair.